Hi everyone, it's BDevine from BDevine Online, of course, and this is the YouTube Temple of the Flame, obviously, and today it is a full moon, supermoon, the last moon of December, the last one of 2025. I can't get over that we're here at the end. And it's a full moon in Gemini, so it's helpful if you know on your chart where Gemini sits for you. Traditionally, it's, if we were looking at a perfect chart, it's the third house ruler, which rules communication. Mercury sits there as well. So, sorry, it's the third house sign, and its ruler is Mercury. It is exposing things to us. Okay, so for example, I have Gemini as my first house, not my rising sign, but my first house is Gemini, and I also have Mars. Okay, so watch out, because I communicate powerfully, right? But I will also, I'm also a rabbit, a wood rabbit in in Chinese astrology. So if you get me in a corner, I'm just going to bust my way out. I am going to do everything I can to get out. This determination, okay, is what leads me to continue to keep going, in doing all of this work. Okay, continuing. It's so important for me that the world starts to get it, the world starts to heal, that everybody on the planet starts to understand just how vital you are in creating this reality that we all really want, right? So I'm going to read to you some stuff that I've connected with for this particular moon. Don't forget to become a patron so that you can be a part of my live monthly webinars. And also, if you're interested in weight reset, flame infusion weight reset, this is going to be in 4 parts with me personally, live in a group setting. You probably won't all see each other, but you'll be able to connect with each other. This is the evergreen process, the first group that's happening with, that I'm working with this as a group for, and it will be in January, from the 10th to the 31st, like 1 week each week, right? So if you're interested in that, I'll have all the links and things below. Again, it's an evergreen. This is the first time it's going to be in a group, so it is half price. All right, I'm giving you all the deals. So let's move into this. This is an exposure of mental loops, false stories, noisy timelines in a way that we can't ignore anymore. Okay? So if you are lying to yourself, if you are, you know, and when I say that, saying, oh, I'm fine, when you're not, okay? Or saying, yeah, I get it, when you don't. Or saying, yeah, I don't have any of that type of food when you do. Or I don't really do all of this when you are, right? And these are just things that we do to ourselves, okay? And we unlock this, and I taught you about unlocking those things in my last video. But anyway, you may feel or notice that you're extra wired, you're restless, you might be tired, but you can't switch off. Old thoughts, replaying like a broken record. You might actually have, okay, this might be something that's happening to you. This happens to me randomly, and I know that there's something in it every time it happens, where I will just be doing something, like I'm cooking in the kitchen or something, and this random flash of a day in my life, or a part of a day in my life, comes in that I hadn't thought about since that happened. It might have been 1980 or something, right? And it was just this random glimpse at something, okay? These things are there as little marker points showing you that something happened at that time that you were not aware that is bringing you into the now. Okay? For example, when I was about, I would say I was about 6 years old. And I was in my bedroom. We had just moved, I was almost 7. We had just moved, I lived in Western Australia when I was young. And we had just moved from one suburb to this house in a place called Belden, which was a new suburb. Okay, so if you're from Western Australia, you know Belden. Okay, you know Craigie, you know Whitford's Shopping Centre, you know all these places. So that was me in the 80s. When we moved to this place in Belden, it was a home that was built. No one else had moved into this place. And this was something that had never happened. You know, my mum and stepdad, not wealthy at all. So whatever little bit of money that they had put aside or whatever, they were able to put down and get this mortgage on this place. This meant that I was going to go to a brand new school. And that school is Eddystone Primary School. And I was going to start that school when it was open. It wasn't going to be open for a little minute, but anyway, I went to that. I was like the first group of kids that were ever at that school. So there was a lot of new things. Now, I remember I used to do a thing where I would stare in the mirror for ages when I was little. And a lot of the times I was just wishing that I looked different or whatever, right? I used to put my hair in tons and tons and tons of braids and things like this. And I'd be looking at myself in the mirror. And one time I went to my aunt's house and she just did all of this Christian Dior makeup on little Becky me, right? And I was like, I had to go to the park and I literally sat on top of the, what a show off, right? I sat right on top of the park swings and everything. And I'm like, I'm doing all this shit. Nobody saw me. And I'm like this little girl with all this makeup on. It could have been quite a dangerous situation if you think about it. Anyway, so this situation is not what this was not what I was trying to tell you. But anyway, so I'd be looking in the mirror all the time at this place and, you know, just, I don't know. I just used to have this thing where I'd sort of drift off, obviously. One time I'm looking in the mirror, okay, and you know how I always wear like a choker or something, right? Well, I used to always wear the choker with a pendant on it, you know, pretty much every single day. I'm a little girl and I'm looking in the mirror and I see myself looking back at me as I am basically about a year ago. So I'm looking back at myself, how I look. I hadn't really changed much of my look for a long time anyway. So, and I'm looking back at myself from the mirror. And so this, you know, comes into my mind every so often. Or like I was telling you, all that silliness of sitting in the park and thinking I'm some kind of model or something. Or just wishing my life was glamorous. Or wishing my life was somewhere else, right? And going off into these little stories, like I would be, I'd tell my friends they have to call me Diana because I wanted to be Linda Carter so badly. I'm like, you have to call me Diana. That's it. We're playing Wonder Woman right now, and I'm Wonder Woman. And like they'd all go along with it. Oh, hi Diana. Right. Anyway, so old thoughts, old things, old memories, old situations. More messages, more notifications, more conversations than your system actually wants, right? The truth coming out in strange ways. Slips, accidents. Maybe you didn't mean to say it that way, but you said it anyway. Just like what I've just done. Gemini rules the mind, the words, the stories, the nervous system. Okay? the Mercury, okay, which is Gemini's ruling planet, it rules your mental health, okay? So if it's retrograding, it's turning around and looking on an inner level at your mental health. When it's in a normal direct movement, it's just looking at how you are showing yourself to others, right? That can get really deep, by the way. I'm not going to go there right now. Anyway, the moon is pulling on places we've been, overthinking instead of listening to the body, saying it's fine when it's not, using information as a distraction instead of a key. The full moon is saying clear the static, choose your signal, okay? Your nervous system is sacred, not public property. We all have to choose what our reality is. Choose what we're allowing into our life. Choose how someone or something is affecting us. Choose whether we're going to put up with more crap or we're walking away from it. Choose whether we want to be in a timeline where we're dependent on everybody else's viewpoint, or we're choosing ourselves and to proudly and powerfully move forward, right? That's what I choose. So the collective themes that could come up, though, is a story collapse, right? Where this is people are cracking with their narratives, like saying, oh, this is just how I am, or I have to sacrifice myself to keep peace, or I don't want to rock the boat, or if I speak, I'm going to lose everything, or if I say that, they won't like me, or, oh, I can't be that honest because people will just, think I'm even weirder than I actually am. So I'm just not going to say any, right? Falseness, right? Under this lunation that we have, these stories feel heavy, impossible to carry anymore. All that old talk about yourself, it just doesn't wash. It's just impossible to carry forward. Your soul is going to say to you, no more. We're not doing this shit anymore, right? You need to also be careful of your nervous system overload. Make sure that you're doing your breathing and settling that down as well. You might be scrolling a little more than usual. If you pick at yourself, this is a nervous system thing too. When did the picking start? Checking messages constantly. Jumping from task to task to task and really finishing nothing, right? Too many things. Too many plates in the air. So, the fix for this is not more information. The fix is less noise, more flame. Conversations now are also starting to become karmic. You'll feel a push to finally say what's been on your heart, right? A pullback from people who drain, confuse, or gaslights. Zero tolerance reaction to manipulative or vague communication. Be straight with me, I'll be straight right back, right? Be vague, I'm calling you out on it. If you're overdoing something and you're asking for my advice, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to say, hey, that's, you just, do you want to get out of this or what? Like what? Sometimes I don't understand when people come for healing. I'm literally asking them like, do you want to get out of this? Okay, you do. Okay, so are you willing to do whatever it takes? Yeah, I am. Okay, and I'm going to help and support you along the way. No worries. And then when it comes down to it, oh yeah, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to upset this, or I didn't want to buy something separate for myself, or I didn't want to go. It's a choice. Everything is a choice. So zero tolerance. So tonight, okay, with this full moon, what tabs are still open in your brain? Have you got music playing on one of those tabs somewhere? I always have. Obviously, you can hear it right now. But there's always music playing on one of my tabs. There's always, a few tabs open for the kids and whatever, right? A few tabs get pushed open for those dogs that we have, which are like babies. But, and, you know, I guess people think I might sit around all day and write and kumbaya, but I do all my works pretty much in the morning, sometimes up into the afternoon, and then I have other jobs I've got to do around our property, right? Like today, we have so many leaves out back. I wonder if you can see. You may or may not be able to see, but it goes back, you know, 3.5 acres back there. We're not going to do all of those leaves, right? But we have to burn them. We have to burn them where they sit. We have to get them away from the house. We have to get them away from the dog wires. We have to get them away from the dog fences. And we have to do them in sections. Not to mention splitting wood and chopping stuff up because we have our fireplace, right? That's how we do it. So, a lot of jobs to do, a lot of tabs open, right? So then you ask yourself which things just really don't even need to be there, right? What things don't really need to be there? And you probably find that a lot of things don't really need to be there, right? I don't know why they're there, but sometimes we just forget to close the tab, right? Like on a computer. So we're no longer giving any loops authority over our life, right? We're no longer giving permission for anything unnecessary to take up too much time and space in our brain. We're bringing our flame back to our body, right? Because this is your key, right? You bring your flame, you put your hand on your heart, one on your solar plexus, you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, and you breathe out for 8, like you're steaming up a mirror. And if you can do this 7 to 10 times, you get your flame on the inside of your being. It starts massaging your nervous system. Let the body lead you and the mind follows. Okay? So choose one thing that you want to own for yourself, a truth that you're ready to own maybe to someone close to you, for your path. Whisper it. On this full moon in Gemini, I choose truth over adaptation. My voice belongs to my soul, not to my fear. Right? We're releasing stories that are stored in your nervous system, mental clutter, outdated beliefs, right? Your voice is calibrated to truth, not survival, not having to do this or having to do that, right? This is not about being more spiritual, right? It's about being really honest. So what the flame gives you and activates, these are things you already have, okay? All the things you've ever wanted, you already actually have, right? So it allows you to detach from all the noise, the static, the other people's issues, and make that choice for yourself. Staying connected with the flame work, staying connected in your empowerment. This is the key. I talk to some people that and this is a common theme. Okay, so let me just... A common theme is that there is an overload on one person, say in the family, right? Where that person has to take care of the parents, the kids, the husband or the wife or whatever, the job, the work, the employees. They're not noticed. They're not appreciated. So the way to fix this is, in their brain, is like, well, then I have to do more. I have to take care of it. I need to fix it. I need to do it. I need to be it. I need to live it. I need to show them. I need to take care of it. I need to get over there right now. I'll fix that. I'll fix the dinner. I'll fix the kids. I'll fix this. I'll fix that. And then at the end of the day, they're like, well, why hasn't anybody even given me any thanks? I hate you all. I'm done. Right? Annoyed, frustrated. And they're not saying it out loud. They're saying that to themselves. And when they say that to themselves, of like, I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, haven't you noticed? Can't you see? Aren't you watching? Aren't you listening? Aren't you available? I guess I'll just have to do more. I guess I'll just have to fight another day. I guess I'm just going to have to suck it up because nobody else is here to do it. I guess it's my job. I guess it's my responsibility. I guess nobody else will do it. Which leads you to thinking that nobody else cares about you. Nobody else listens to what your inner struggles are. They can't hear them. Nobody else is paying attention to you, which feeds into your, well, I guess I'm not worth paying attention to then, or I guess I'm not worth listening to, or I guess I've done something wrong, right? So this whole irritated nervous system, it creates red flags in the body that are like, you're not listening. We're on overload right now. Sawney coming in. Sawney. Oh, now you're going to have to lie down. Now you're frustrated with lying down. Now you hate your knee. Now you hate that you can't move and you can't get it done. It's driving you crazy that nothing's getting done. Oh, here comes something else. Oh, here comes something else right now. What's going to happen right now? Okay, you're going to start having heart pains as well. Oh my God, on top of everything else, I've got heart pains as well. My knee's busted. Oh, I've got tachycardia right now. Oh, nervous system. Okay, red flags. Okay, these red flags are kicking off. Oh, now you've got terrible headaches, right? You've got terrible headaches on top of it. Why do you think your body's doing this and stimulating you like this and getting you to stop, getting you to actually rest? And then when you do rest, you hate those body parts again, or you hate that you can't do it, and you hate that you're not in control, when really you were saying you wanted a break or someone to notice, but you wouldn't even notice yourself unless it gets to the point where you're laid up, right? And then you hate that you're laid up and you can't wait to get back going again, right? This is a vicious cycle people go through, and it all comes from needing to have attention, needing someone to notice you because of how you were treated when you were young, right? Instead of understanding that as you give it to yourself, you have no need for anyone to notice anymore, right? No need for anyone to care. All the power, all the strength that you are looking for in somebody else, you already know you have it. You don't need anyone else to help you. You don't need anyone else's guidance. You don't need to look at anyone else's videos. You don't need to waste your time on all these big long practices. You're not in confusion about anything because you gave back to yourself. When nobody else had the time or could be bothered or was interested or didn't seem to care, that is their choice. That is their unhealed reality, and it has nothing to do with you. On one timeline, there are people who are scattered and all over the place and really, really sad because of these things. And on the other time, there are people who couldn't give a rat's you know what because they have already dealt with all of this stuff. And they are refusing to be held down. They're refusing to have other people dump. They're refusing to do anything that they don't want to do. And guess what happens? A power drive to the top for that person, to wherever it is that they want to be. And guess what? There's no drama, because anyone who's giving you drama believes that you're someone who emotionally takes it on for them, right? So they just give it all to you. Once they realize that you're strong, that you're tough, that you're powerful, that you're capable, that you're just not gonna, they wouldn't even dream of coming to you and dropping that in your lap. That's the difference. We have a choice with these moons, with these connections, with the end of year, with the last of something, with the completion cycle. We have a choice of carrying it on into the new year, or understanding the choices that we're making and stop over analyzing everything or worrying about anybody besides yourself. I know you have to if you have children, like you have to be, responsible for their needs, whatever. I'm not talking about that. I think you know that, what I'm talking about by now. But you focus your intentions of where you want to be and you make that choice, and the flame will erupt through your body, unlock everything, and you're on another journey, right? You're on another journey. It's surprising to me that there have been so many intelligent people that I've met over the years that aren't grabbing this with both hands. They're staying in the old ways, whatever. We can't choose who comes with us. We just have to choose us, right? And then when we do this, we naturally draw towards us that right vibrational match as well. So under the full moon in Gemini, the mind can be loud, the mental loops can be, coming back, little memories and little things, and little Becky sitting there on the thing, whatever. Bring that true voice back to your body, right? You don't have to fix everything. You're choosing your signal, okay? Choose your signal. Listen to it, or you're going to get little red flags going on in your body. Sometimes when we're having a release, something will show you that it's released. For example, 2 days ago, I felt like this sore throat, heat across the bottom part of my neck, because I had been doing and leading everybody through a massive Dragonfire webinar, and we were doing all this work on our throat as well. So the place where you feel it the most is where you've had the most release as well, right? Choose your signal, okay? Choose your signal. So, I hope that this is helpful. You know where I am. I will put all the links in the comments for everybody as well. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one with the Flame Fusion, or you're working with this group, we're going to go live. It's a 4-week thing, not a one-off. You'll have plenty of tools, and you'll have plenty of things that you need to read, and plenty of information that comes from these as well. But yeah, let's move onward and upward. Sending so many blessings, of course. Ignite. Be the flame. Live it. Reset yourself. Get back in charge of everything. Okay, you've got this. I will talk to you real soon. Bye for now.